Hi, my name is Joseph Parker, WBO champion of the world, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
All right, so David Higgins, the manager of former WBO World Heavyweight Champion Joseph Parker, has revealed that Joe Joyce's team either have or are sending through an official offer. Joseph Parker versus Joe Joyce versus Joseph Parker. Yes, please, I would like to watch that fight. I'm sure a lot of you would too. And it's great that, firstly, Joseph Parker apparently is very up for this fight. That's something that he would want. And of course, it's great that Joe Joyce, especially as Joe Joyce is coming off of a bit of a layoff due to an injury. I think it was his hand. He damaged his hand or something. So it's good that when he comes back, he's looking at Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker, of course, put on a great performance last time against Derek Chisora. Looked real good. Really, really good. In fact, he'd done what I believed he can do for quite some time, which he hadn't really done since before he became WBO World Heavyweight Champion. Now he's doing it under the guidance of Andy Lee. And so that's great stuff. Is it helping him being in camp with Tyson Fury all day, every day? By the looks of it, yeah. So that's great. I'd like to see this fight. David Higgins believes that this fight would sell out the O2 Arena. Would it? Maybe. Maybe. Joseph Parker does have a lot of fans here in the UK. He really does. Joe Joyce is very popular as well. Why not? And of course, it would be for the WBO mandatory position. Unfortunately, Joseph Parker did turn down the opportunity to fight Filip Hrgović for the IBF. And the IBF will be called before the WBO. At least currently it will be. So, is it somewhat pointless in some ways? Maybe he should have fought Hrgović, as he's more likely to get his world title shot before Joe Joyce, currently being WBO mandatory. Maybe, but at the same time, Parker, of course, he's kind of been there, he's done it. He wants big fights. He wants to cement a legacy. This means earning some money. Joe Joyce, of course, would obviously be the more financially viable option over Filip Hrgović. Is it a more risky fight, a less risky fight? I suppose it's down to you to decide. I like this fight. I hope the fight does happen. I really do. Now, David Higgins is, of course, his manager. Now, what I didn't know until yesterday or the day before, Jono from Big Boys Boxing, of course, he's from over there in New Zealand, he said that Joseph Parker's contract with Matchroom is now finished. I didn't know that. Now I do. Now you do, for those of you who didn't as well. Now, David Higgins has said this. The question is, who's next? Joseph has signalled he'd like to fight as soon as humanly possible. A possible opponent is Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce is obviously ranked number 1 with the WBO, and Parker is ranked number 2. We're not taking for granted almost a 50-50 type fight, which the fans would absolutely love. The Joyce team have reached out to us and said they're going to make a written offer. Both sides have talked about May timing, so we'll see what that offer looks like. Great. I hope Team Joyce, as in Frank Warren and that, S-Jam, offer a deal to Joseph Parker, and the deal is good. Really, I'd like to see this fight. I really, really would. I know Joseph Parker has apparently offered Andy Ruiz Jr. a rematch as well. Yes, I'd be interested in that fight too. I like Parker. I've always liked Parker. I've always rated him. Arguably more than a lot of people do, I think, to be brutally honest. But I think his last performance against Derek Chisora in their rematch, I think he's got a lot more people on side now. People want to see that Joseph Parker. They don't want to see the Joseph Parker who fought, say, maybe Razvan Kajanu, or the Joseph Parker that fought Derek Chisora the first time, for example, or the one that fought, say, maybe a Anthony Joshua. No, they don't want to see that Joseph Parker. They want to see the Joseph Parker that has rematched Derek Chisora. That's the Parker people want to see. We know that Joe Joyce is a big old unit, very, very good boxing, excellent jab. We've seen that with Darren Dubois. Quite heavy-handed with his right. Decent movement. He always looks quite slow, but apparently for the quite a few people I know who have sparred Joe Joyce, he's actually faster than what he looks on TV. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see if this fight materialises or not. I hope so. I'm sure a lot of you would agree with that too. Why not? Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up and of course subscribe. And I'll catch you all in the next video.